All right, be sure to erase any stray splatter from your background. On the apple, it doesn't really matter so much because it's got spots all over it anyway. And we are now ready to finish this painting by painting our apple. So we've already got our yellow down because there is clearly a base color of yellow in this apple. And then probably start with a red-orange next, and then we'll finish with the darker red, and then we'll finish with a red-violet for the shadow. And then we have a reflected highlight shadow happening over here, and that is the fabric reflecting back onto our shiny apple. So it's going to have a little bit of this kind of blue color to it that we'll finish with. So I'm going to make a red-orange. So we're going to paint all the dark places first. Make sure you're staying in the lines. You want to be really careful, girls. Hopefully you drew that line. It's not a circle. There's not a circle there. If we were looking at it from straight above, there would be a circle, but because we're looking at the stem from an angle, the circle that you think you're seeing is the light part of the where the light is shining inside the apple. Really what you have to draw is the line that creates the front of the stem. And so we'll make sure that we paint from that line and pull down. So the apple is round, and we want to paint with rounded lines to show our round apple. We don't want to paint straight lines because then it's going to look flat instead of dimensional. Alright, getting a little bit more water, a little bit more paint, and then just trying to study this photo to see where. So the brush is a little bit dry, the tip of the brush is a little bit dry, and I'm holding it sideways to kind of make those streaks. Alright, so I'm streaking across that whole area. Getting very tiny bits of water, because I still want that yellow to kind of come through, but I don't want it to be so bright of a yellow. Alright, so using little bits of water. And I think I'm going to use my small brush with water to see what kind of streaks I can put in of that yellow. Alright, just using water, laying the brush down kind of flat to make it kind of streaky. Kind of like the way that looks, so I think I'm going to leave it alone before I mess with it too much and then I don't like it anymore. I do need more red And I still need to make the red violet color that's going to go over here. All right, so I think I'm ready for red straight from my palette. Okay, holding my brush sideways so I can make little skinny marks. You'll notice that some of these marks come down. Now I do want to make sure that this is probably dry before I paint on top of it, because if it's not, I might erase everything I just put down. Sometimes when you put new paint down, or if you get too much water on your brush, you erase everything. So I'm gonna go blow dry this so we can move on. Okay, so I've got some red violet, and I'm gonna start on the darkest part of the apple, and that is this far right side, and it goes all the way up to the edge here. Alright, so when I used the water, it kind of erased the paint I just put down, so gotta be careful with how much water you put down. Okay, so I'm still slowly adding the red violet, looking to see where it needs to go. Looks like there's a spot by the stem. And then it looks like we might need to do a little bit of the splatter on the apple. I see a bunch of little red dots, so I think that would be a nice little feature. Alright, I do want to make sure it don't get on my banana. Alright, and then I feel like the last thing I'm going to do is paint in that stem. And if you feel like you can't see it, be sure to add some white to that. I'm going to make it lighter. Oh, we still need to do our little highlights. Okay, so we got our stem. Adding a little bit of green to that just to help kind of make it stand out a little bit. And then I feel like I need to add a little bit of that orange color if I can get it to pick up. I feel like this yellow is a little bright. Okay. And then I just need to do the little highlight spots, so I kind of have a bluish color highlight over here where the fabric was reflecting back onto the apple. And then there's a very light peachish colored highlight that we're going to put right here. Alright, so I'm going to take that leftover red-orange color, add some white to it. Put this down. I'm going to go blow dry my splatter first.